student, mentor, or parent that loves robotics? Then you're in the right place. Up-to-date info on all things robotics. This is the RoboZone Podcast with your host, Pete Eckman.
Hello and welcome to the 8th episode of the RoboZone Podcast. This podcast is for Monday, March 13th, 2017. In this week's episode, we're covering Kettering Week 2 events and as well as events across First Michigan and First Cross Country. This is the second week of the 2017 Steamworks competition season, and it's been a riot to cover. If you can't tell already, I've lost partially some of my voice. That's thanks to me rooting on my team, the Martians from Team 494 at Kettering Week 2. We have some great interviews. The first interview we have for you today is the Engine Nerds from 2337 from Grand Blanc, Michigan. This is a pre-interview, so they showed up first at Kettering Week 2. I wanted to get their thoughts from their drive team, and then we'll go into the rest of the podcast. Subscribe, find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube.
So we're pre-Kettering Week 2. The nerds are the first ones to show up, so I'm going to interview them first. So I want to get their thoughts about what we're going to do this weekend, how they think they can approach this game, how they can elevate themselves, maybe take home a blue banner, maybe. So introduce yourself, tell me who you are, and what do you do for the drive team? What's your position?
I am Josh. I'm the team co-captain, and I'm the operator on drive team.
And what do you think is going to be the most important thing, Josh, for you yourself to compete with your team this weekend? What are you going to have to pay attention to?
I think it's just looking at gears and fuel and seeing like how many rotors you have and what you got to do to get more.
So basically communication, right?
Yeah, communication with the whole alliance.
I'm Alexis. I'm co-team captain and I'm pilot.
So as the pilot, there's a lot of pressure, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
So you were here last weekend reviewing what happened with the teams last weekend?
Yes, I was doing pilot scouting.
So what do you think you learned from last weekend that you can apply to this weekend?
I definitely learned that it's important to pay attention to all three robots rather than just one of the lifts, and also paying attention to the gear you're given, because that's automatic points that you can use to help your alliance.
Right, and the communication with the co-pilot that's up there with you, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Did you bring headgear just in case you smack heads?
No, I did not. I brought gloves, but not headgear.
I'm Ryan, and I'm the human player.
Ryan, are you looking forward to this game?
I am.
You're very subdued right now. So what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Just having a great time and seeing all the different teams compete and seeing all the different designs that people made for this year's game.
So you know all the teams that are going to be here this weekend, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
Hi, my name is Lauren Nabok. I was head of mechanical this year for Team 2337, and I'm the driver for this year's robot.
What are you going to look for with your alliances in this game so that you can compete and win?
Well, for one of the things that I saw last weekend at Kettering Week 1 was the amount of penalties that drivers got in the return load station. That was one of the biggest things that I saw that our team really needs to try to look out for.
So is there anything else from a driving perspective that you could inform everyone, not for just this competition, but going forward through the season?
One of the big things for drivers is visibility. I know that drivers especially have the duty of making sure that the robot is positioned in such a way that they can perform their actions. So honestly, if drivers need to, don't be afraid to move outside of your box into your alliance's driver stations, just to make sure that you're able to see your robot almost at all times.
Is there anything else you guys can offer to the teams that are going to be out here this weekend?
Yeah, just good luck and have fun. And there's only one rookie here this weekend, but there's a lot to learn from this game. And if you need help, don't be afraid to ask for it.
Good point. Thank you guys for all joining me today.
Thank you.
I want to thank the Engine Nerds drive team for giving me that interview. Pre-competition, their nerves were a little high, but they proved themselves this weekend and going forward as a very good team that anyone would want to be partnered with in their alliance. So I wish them all the luck going forward in Steamworks. The next portion of the podcast that I have for you is a roundtable discussion with all the mentors of the winning alliance from Kettering Week 2. For everyone catching up on this past weekend's competitions, in Kettering Week 2, we really had a Cinderella story of a competition winner. The winning alliance from Kettering Week 2 was the 8th seeded alliance, and captained by a rookie team out of Flatrock, Michigan. For mentors, I think this is going to be very special. So let's get to the roundtable. Hi guys, how are you doing tonight? I have the winning alliance from Kettering Week 2, the Cinderella story of the week, maybe of the season. We'll see what happens this season. Blaine, tell us who you are, where you're from, and your team name, please.
So I'm Blaine Armstrong, team number 6618, the Warbots. We're from Flat Rock, Michigan.
Scott, tell us about who you are, where you're from, please.
All right, guys, Scott Milward with 2612, the Coarsairs from Waterford, Michigan.
And finally, picking up the rear, Joe, tell us about yourself.
Yep, I'm Joe Bickley. I'm with the Swartz Creek Dragons, Team 1243.
As I introduce this podcast, these guys, this roundtable discussion is with the winning alliance from Kettering Week 2. They have a little piece of my heart because they beat my team coming out of that first match. We were the number one alliance. They took us down like a tree to a windstorm, to make a reference to last week here in Michigan. So, Blaine, I'm going to start with you. I know I spoke to you, all these drive teams yesterday, and they gave me some really good answers. But Blaine, I want to know, what do you think it took to win this event?
Oh, it was definitely a team effort. We were so one-dimensional coming into that finals. I talked to the boys a lot about that. We had to do what was best for the team, whatever it was. Let the other robots do the scoring, and we would do whatever we could to help out. And really, it was a team effort. And the alliance, it proved that the alliances really do work whenever you work together.
So, Scott, what do you think it took to get that win?
Well, that's what we do. We help out all the teams. That's what FIRST is about. FIRST, right, is getting everybody up and running, making sure everybody passes inspections and can play, because that's what it's all about. Other than that, it was, like you said, just teamwork. Everybody had a task. Everybody stood, played their game, stuck to the task, stuck to the strategy that we had made up. Nobody went rogue and tried to do their own thing, get crazy, and it all worked out. That's what it's about, teamwork. Without these guys, we couldn't have won. So that's kind of where our team is. I'm very proud of everybody on the alliance here. Everybody thought we were down a little bit. We had one robot that couldn't climb, and everyone else seemed to have 3 robots that could climb. So I'm very proud of what we accomplished with what we had.
You feel the same way, Joe?
Yeah, and that was a big point about not having a climbing robot. I know a lot of folks, I think they thought they kind of had it in the bag. Okay, they don't have a climber. But with us being able to play our regular games and then somewhat disrupt the other team's ability to climb, that helped neutralize that, and it, made it more of the action before climbing, set the tone. And then certainly the Auton. When 6618 got their Auton, supporting us right from the start, that was big,
And you're right, Joe. To have a rookie team that has an Auton was amazing to see yesterday. We don't see that very often when it comes to rookie teams. That's something you usually see in a second or third year program. So Blaine, hats off to you on that. I mean, just to come out and be the captain for the 8th Alliance as a rookie team, and I still have to look this up, but I don't believe that there has been a winning alliance that's been captained by a rookie team at Kettering Week 2 ever. I have to figure that out. I'll get those details. I'll look at the first records and see if we can get that. So thank you guys for all the information. So my next question, go ahead.
Yeah, on that point, real quick, with the rookies, and I brought this up to his crew out there. When 1243 was a rookie, we were Alliance captain out of Pittsburgh in 2004. Nobody knew who we were. Nobody thought we'd do any good. And we actually won that and cleaned up on the rookie awards as well. So it's kind of a neat thing to see these guys, 13 years later, there's another rookie team as our captain. It was pretty cool.
Well, Joe just helped me not do any research. He just cleaned up for himself. That was a good one. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
Blaine, what you guys just started this year. This is your first season, okay? Why would you want to start a first team? Just tell us a little bit.
I've been trying to start a first team there for a long time at the school at Flat Rock Community Schools. I've been there now 15 years. When I first got there, we tried to form an alliance with Ford and Eurotech, a company real close to us, and it just kind of fell through at the last minute. But I didn't give up on it. I was part of one out of Melvindale High School. I can't remember the name of the Robo Cards. We We won a regional there. We went to World. So I'm familiar with the with First in the program, and I really wanted it to be a part of our educational environment there in Flatrock. And I've been pushing, and now actually my son's a sophomore and was actually the captain of the team, piloting the 6618 robot around yesterday. I was real proud of him. So it was personal, but it was also a big professional push that I've been trying to start there.
Well, I think you started off pretty well. I think this is any sign, not just for this year, but going forward, I think it's awesome. And I told your drive team yesterday, I graduated from Southgate Anderson High School. They're right next door to you. My brother lives in Flatrock. I'm a downriver rat, as they say. I actually went to Melvindale. I went to a parochial school in Melvindale for a little while. So you're bringing back some very vivid memories of my upbringing. So, Scott, tell us a little bit about the history of your program, where you guys started to right now, how long you've been around, that type of thing.
Well, our program, I believe, is 8 or 9 years old now. I've been with them since Rebound Rumble, whatever year that was. That was my first season. I actually fly RC airplanes with the lead mentor, Amy, over there. As you see, my fan behind me, a huge aviation guy, always been an aviation pilot, but we fly model airplanes together. So when I joined, she kind of wrangled me into it. So basically what we've got going on over there now is we had a group that changed over. They were the Waterford Destroyers, WMD. Some of you guys might remember them. But the school is the Coarsairs, the boat, just like 3098's the captains. It's a Waterford thing. So we swung it around a little bit, the Coarsairs. That's why we got the airplane. Basically, the other guys, Vince and Mike, are the brains behind the operation. But when things need to be quote unquote redneck engineered, just made work at the last second. That's where I come in. Got some ideas. Those guys really make it happen, though. I just come up with some crazy ideas and say, "All right, boys, this is what we got going on. How can we make this work?" And those guys actually make it come to fruition. I mean, the pit guys this year are awesome. So that's just where our program. We just keep growing it a little bit at a time. We're not a huge team. We're only we have 14 members this year. So little scouting team plus our 2 pit guys and the 4 drive team. We're really spread pretty thin.
Well, if not only Blaine's team, but your team, Scott, you guys don't have very big teams, but you guys have a lot of heart and you guys bring home trophies. I mean, that's a lot to say for first. Joe, tell us a little bit more about the Swartz Creek Dragons.
Okay, yeah, Swartz Creek Dragons, we started those guys back in 2004. I've been involved in first since 2001. We started with 314. Flint Assembly Plant was sponsoring them at the time. And, that program was growing pretty good, so we figured we would try to branch out and grow Swartz Creek. Now, Swartz Creek has always been small. We've been lucky. I think our biggest year we might have had 15 people. And it's kind of ebbed and flowed between 4 or 5 to 15. This year we were exceptionally small as well, which for the group we had, I think is one of the best we've had because these guys were just so focused on everything we do throughout the whole season. We were able to build 2 machines. We had a practice robot. We came in, we only met like 3 nights a week, and then one day on Saturday, and they just put their heart and soul into it just to get it done and meet all the objectives we had. And one of the biggest things we want to do is make sure we were competitive. That's the only thing we ever look for, being a small team. We just want to be competitive. We know we don't have all the powerhouse behind us like a lot of folks do. But it's nice to do that and, walk away even on, we've been finalists a number of times over the years, or even quarterfinalists. You go to these, events where there's a lot of big name teams, and they just feel really good for being able to put a good show on and, walk out with our heads held high. The win, this is our 3rd win since we've been in it. It's really great for a number of reasons. The kids are just rattling them off. After we got through the semifinals, it was the best thing in the world to them. And then the last 2 matches were just, were extra.
Yeah, and they could carry that blue banner with them for the rest of the year. No matter what happens, they know they have at least one, right?
Yeah.
We all want the blue banner. So the next question I have for you, Blaine, how you can help teams that may listen to this or are a future dad that wants to start a program. What are the steps that you took to start your program?
Well, we were real lucky this year. We got the MDE, the Michigan Department of Education, rookie grant. So we were awarded that. We were given opportunity to go to 2 different events, and that was all paid through the grant. So I guess the perseverance, the kids will come now. My son started with some other kids that didn't actually end up going with us to Kettering, but he pulled in his friends, and their faces when that robot started running, because they did all the wiring, they did everything themselves, and we didn't have an engineer back there. Their faces lit up, and it was just amazing how much they truly, they put their heart and soul into it, just like everybody else. They put that heart and soul into there. We worked a lot of hours on that thing. The Goon Squad from Woodhaven, though, we about 2 weeks ago, we didn't have programming. 2 weeks before, we didn't have programming. So Gail from First of Michigan set us up with Woodhaven, the Goon Squad, and they really helped us get through the programming issues. And we wouldn't even have been there without them, for sure. And without some of the other teams who helped us borrow a laptop at the very beginning for a driver station. Our alliance there. I say just keep trying, because the kids will come, just like what they said.
So shout out to the Goon Squad and Gail. Make sure.
Oh, yeah.
So before I let you guys go, the question everyone asks when you go into Alliance selection right now, Blaine, did you have a pick list when you went out there? What was going through your head when you were educating your young man or young lady that went out there and made the pick?
Well, we had a small list of teams. That we weren't as familiar with the whole seeding process whenever it comes to that. The 1 could pick 2 and 3 could pick 4, and then we could move up. That wasn't something that we really had talked about until the meeting that morning. And then we really went into full scout mode and said, this is a possibility. And we knew we needed a couple of climbers, and Coarsair had been very good to us throughout the whole time. If you look at their points, they probably I think they had the second or third points, total points, although I don't think they had the victories. But, they were up there in the points. And then whenever you look at the seedings, we wanted somebody that was right there with us. So we looked to, the 12th seed and picked them.
How did you feel, Scott, when you guys got picked?
Well, when you get picked in the 8th Alliance, everybody knows that's usually the Alliance of Death, right? That's the one where it's usually a quick out. I've been on both ends of it, though, right? Saturday, it's you either go up or down. We've been on the up and we've been on the down. Last year at, I believe it was Lakeview, we were number 1 seed with 1684, and this actually happened to us. We went in, and 1684 had some issues, and our alliance partner had some issues. So it was 1-on-3 last year, and the defense was just crazy. So I knew it could be done because we just saw it happen to us last year, and the kids from last year remember it. So when we came through, I said, "Hey, boys and girls, we can do this. We had it happen to us last year. Let's go figure out a plan, get together with these guys, and just because again it keeps coming up a little handicapped with the 2 climb." Against everybody else having seemingly 3, which we found out later, everybody couldn't climb every time, and we found that through the competition too, right? Yep. Everybody said they can do everything just like they always do, and then all of a sudden you look over and there's only 1 robot up, and seemingly it's, as they said before, it seemed it was us most of the time through the couple of days. So the kids were down a little bit just because of they had seen the OPR and the CCWM or whatever it is, and we were top 2-3 the whole weekend, and then we kind of slid past all the other alliances. So I said, hey, if everyone else is going to look past us, let's team up with who we can and get this done, show everybody what's going on.
And that's the one thing, and you guys have talked a little bit about it today, and something I love about First Robotics is you may not be number 1, And you may be in the last place, but that doesn't mean you can't take a banner home with you.
That's right. Go for it. I told Keegan, our driver, which you had the intense stare from yesterday. I basically told him, and I told these guys yesterday in line, I said, we're just going to let it go. We'll get it done. If the robot doesn't survive, that's what it is. So we've got a bunch of hurt motors on it. It was only climbing on one motor, and so we'll see how she goes. We got a lot of work to do in our 6 hours, though. I do know that.
Yes, you do. This next question, and it'll relate to Joe, but I'm going to ask Blaine and Scott. When you guys had that alliance selected, the two of you guys together, Scott and Blaine, what led to the pick to get the Dragons on your alliance?
I'll actually let Blaine answer that one because that's another good funny story. We were actually the third pick.
Oh, really?
We were. We were the next pick on the way up.
Right. Yeah. We had it in numerical order. our picks were in numerical order, but so it just happened to be. I guess our ignorance of the game a little bit and how the points go and so forth. But all I can say is that we are very happy about how things ended up.
Did I get it wrong? Was it was Blaine, your team, then Scott's team was picked, and then Joe's team was picked, right? I got that right? Am I wrong?
We went to 13, and then we went to Coarsair. We went to number 12 seed, and then we went to the Coarsair.
You know what? I'll blame it all on my dyslexia. I'm severely dyslexic, so I get things wrong. Scott's shaking me off, and people can't see video, but yeah, sometimes my mind works backwards. So, well, I'm glad you guys all got together. I'm glad you guys.
That's the bottom line there, right?
You guys put on a heck of a show yesterday. I mean, no one in their minds thought that was going to happen. It was like, what is going on? I mean, when my team lost and we lost our turret onto the ground, which was I heard is going to be on the footage for next week's RoboZone TV podcast, our TV show. I don't want to see that. I think I have nightmares already. But just to take down number one, that's a huge thing. All right, you could say that's one mark. We got it. Then you took down number 3. And then or number 4, I'm sorry. You took down number 4, and then you took down number 2. I mean, who does that? What? I've never seen it since I've been with First Robotics for a couple years, and it was awesome. And I watched Scott's face. I was sitting on the side watching when you guys won that last round, and Scott, I thought I was gonna have to do CPR on the guy. Scott, he was losing his stuff, and in a good way. It was awesome. It was just pure awesome. And
that's why we play the game, right?
It was intense. I keep telling my team, I've told them since year one, I want one of those silly blue banners. Like, these guys, we've been to states, we've been to worlds, but I don't have a blue banner. So I told them this year, I said, boys and girls, we need a blue banner for the old man here. Grew up playing sports, so that's their thing, right? You have to be able to go up when it's time to be jacked, but then you have to come right back down. When we came out of the quarters there, I was super stoked too. I wasn't quite to the intensity level I was there at the end. You just bring it back down, keep everybody on game track, game plan. You just keep going, and then at the end, then you can let loose and have some fun. And everybody saw my fun meter on the side of my hat.
Yes, I did. I was wondering what that was, but I did see it.
It was low there for a while, but it's kept creeping up, and then once we won, of course, then it goes over the top, right? Pegs the needle.
I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. It's Sunday night. You guys got to get ready for the work week, and we got to get ready to repair bots and get ready for the next competition, right? So.
Yeah.
And when you guys log out or sign off, just tell me again who you are, what your team number is, where you're from, and then what competition you're going to be at next. So we'll start with you, Blaine.
All right. Again, Blaine Armstrong, Team 6618, the Warbots, which means we're all Rams here at Flatrock Community Schools. That's our hashtag. So we're going to go to Woodhaven next. So.
Not a far leap. That's right next door.
Not far at all.
No hotels required. No hotels required, right?
That's right.
Thank you for joining us today, Blaine. Very much.
Thank you for having me.
Scott, you're next, please.
Scott Milward with 2612, the Coarsairs. We're actually hosting this week, so we have a little bit different situation going on. We've got a put the robot aside for a week, change gears to our host hat, and making sure, gets the SWAT team, making sure everybody, again, gets up and running for this week. We'll probably have another driver station out, but get the tools down to the pit area there during setup. But then we're going to Howell week 5. So we've got a quick turn this week for host, and we get our 6 hours, and then we're back to Howell. So it's a crazy few weeks for us, crazy 4 weeks.
Make sure you display that blue banner. You guys earned it. Make sure you display that blue banner when you host that event this weekend. That's going to be amazing.
We'll get it up somewhere.
Joe, your last. Tell us about yourself.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm Joe Bickley, Team 1243, Swartz Creek Dragons. Our next event's going to be in Kentwood, and I just want to add a little bit on to the event here last week. We were our alliance actually gave the Martians their only loss during qualifications. So when we went to go into the eliminations, our drive team had a pretty high level of confidence that, hey, we were both with and against the Coarsairs during qualifications and knew they were strong and capable. And then when we started working on that Auton with 6618, we knew it was a good possibility we could, we'd make them fight for it. I think it's how we might have mentioned it at one point. This wasn't going to be a walk-off round. Now after that, you take it one round at a time, do the best you can. But that's kind of where it all started, and then size wasn't going to matter at that point. It was just everybody doing their jobs in the best that we could, and just to take it out in the field and do the very best we could. I was very proud to be a part of that alliance this weekend.
And I'm going to say congratulations to all you guys once again. Thank you for coming on tonight. But I'm sure we're going to see all you guys at States. I know we're going to see Blaine for sure because he won all the rookie awards yesterday. So It was amazing.
Congratulations.
You guys had to do laps to get awards. It was one award and then another award. And it was awesome. But thank you guys for your time tonight. I greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Take care.
Thanks, gentlemen. See you at States.
Hi, this is Pete Ekman with the RoboZone Podcast. I have the winning team, the winning alliance here, the 8th seed alliance. Kind of a Cinderella story here at Kettering Week 2. So what I want you to do is give me your name and your position on the drive team, please.
I'm Colin Page, and I dropped the gears out of the hopper.
Did you have fun up there this weekend? Was it a lot of pressure a little bit?
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure. Nerves were like flying all over the place.
But you had fun, right?
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Give me your name and your position on the drive team, please.
Austin Bear, I'm the pilot on the spaceship.
So how did you like it up there being into the pilot station?
I felt like I was the center of attention, so it was a little bit nerve-wracking.
Did you have fun, though?
Yes.
Can you give any pilots that haven't done it yet what they might need to know in order to be able to be successful?
Don't be nervous.
Good. I'm Andrew Jameson, and I was the assistant driver.
Assistant driver, so an operator, right? We have a driver and operator for common terms. Did you have a bunch of fun this weekend?
Yeah, I had loads of fun.
So as an operator, what do you think led your team to a victory this weekend?
I was figuring out what team we needed to play defense on their robot, and I was trying to direct them to get to the robot we wanted to defend.
Well, I guess you're the proof that defense wins championships, right?
Definitely.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Good. My name is Kate Armstrong, and I'm the driver of the team.
But you guys came a long ways away, right? Where are you guys from?
Flatrock, Michigan.
Flatrock. Now, I'm a downriver guy myself. I grew up in Southgate, Michigan, so we were neighbors. Did you guys have a lot of fun?
Yes, we did.
Did you expect to win this competition?
No, not at all.
Not at all, but you had strong alliances, right?
Yes, we did.
So if there's anything that you can help people to learn, what would you tell them?
Defense wins championships.
Defense wins championships. You guys heard it here first. Thanks, guys, for joining us today. Hi, this is Pete with RoboZone Podcast. I have one of the teams from the winning alliance here, 1243 from Swartz Creek, the Dragons. So we've had a Cinderella story of a weekend here. Tell me your name and your position in the drive team.
Logan Denton. I was airship pilot.
Okay, so my magic question for every pilot that I've interviewed is, what can you offer as advice to other pilots that are up in that station?
Get signals with your driver, so if you need to go right or left, you can tell each other what to do.
So it's all about communication. Communication's key, right?
All about communication.
Sir, your name and what you do on the drive team.
Noah Denton, I'm the driver.
So the most responsible person, the most stress, are you a senior?
Yes.
Yes. So are you educating young men in your team
Oh, yes. I'm letting our sophomore and juniors get on the sticks as we're going along.
Nice. So you get to pass that information down, and then you'll come back as a mentor next year, right? So what can you offer from a driver's perspective? How can you help them out on the field?
Have a plan and execute it. And as you're going along, don't get stressed. Don't get jumpy on the sticks. You just got to go with it, do as you practice, and don't change really. Because first couple matches, I was a little finicky with the sticks, and we only got 3 gears a match, and then we ended with 5 and 6 per match. So, you just got to calm down, take a deep breath, and do what you got to do.
Yeah. Congratulations. Sir, your name and your position?
Eric Reich, and I am the co-pilot.
Co-pilot, so you're the operator. I call it operator, right? What do you do with your robot as the co-pilot?
As of right now, I navigate with the camera.
You're feeding real-time information to your partner next to you so that he can do his job, and he relays information between the pilot. So you guys are all working kind of like in a triangle, right?
Yes.
So as an operator, what advice can you offer other teams that are going to be doing this the next couple weeks?
Communication, practice, a little bit more communication. Make sure you know exactly what you're doing.
My name is Tommy Doty, and I'm our human player.
So you have to get those gears into that bot, right?
Yes.
So how stressful is it down for everyone to see down there, for you to give the left, right, come forward, go backward, that type of thing, right?
The stress can vary from match to match. Like if there's nothing, obstructing the robot getting to the feeder, it's not that bad. But if there's a bunch of, field pieces in the way, it gets pretty stressful. Trying to direct them to the right spot so you can get the gear in.
So your nightmares are of fuel and gears, right?
Yes.
Well, congratulations again, guys, for winning Kettering Week 2. This is Pete from RoboZone Podcast. I have the third group from the Winning Alliance today, 2612.
I'm Kate. I'm from Vietnam. I'm on electrical team, and I'm the pilot in the drive team.
So I joke around with pilots a lot. It's like they have the second most stress on them, right?
Probably. If we do something wrong, we can get the yellow card.
Yeah, no one wants a yellow card, do they?
No, I don't think so.
But the pilot this year has the second amount of stress because it's really stressful in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm asking for pilots' advice to help other pilots. There are teams that haven't even competed yet. Like week 3, sometimes they're going to be going into their first match, right? So as a pilot, what do you think you can help them or give them advice? What do you think you could tell them that would help them out?
So before the match, I talk to the other pilot, and we make a strategy, what we're going to do. So for example, we do gears in autonomous. So I will just get the gear and give it to them, and they will put it on the first rotor. That's really fast.
So you communicate really well with your fellow pilot, right?
Yes.
And that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you for doing this interview.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Keegan Budry. I'm the driver of the robot, and I'm also part of the build team.
Keegan has a very intense stare on my eyes right now, which is cool. I like people when they're talking to me, they look in my eyes, but you're really intense, aren't you?
I guess so.
We like to joke around. It's a lot about having fun. We want to give some advice. How can you help another team that's going to be competing next week?
What I can offer advice is for everyone who's driving the robot, think through the match first. Think like the worst case scenario. If this happens, I can't get a gear. Think about moving out of the way. Move your hands in the position like you would actually do it in the match. And then once you have that all settled in your mind, go to the match and expect the worst, but always try your best.
Hi, I'm Erica. I'm team captain. I'm in charge of electrical and awards, and I am the human player on the drive team loading the gears.
So a revolving hat rack of responsibility.
Exactly.
Yeah. What advice can you hand out to another team that hasn't competed yet, or even teams that were here today and maybe they didn't have the best day in the world? What do you think that you can offer them to help them going forward?
Talk to other teams, learn what they did with their robot, and pull in and then talk with other teams about their strategy. Because during today, this was our first competition. I was pulling strategy from people I was working with and people I was working against. And just, like I said, just talk to people. It's a lot of fun. Get to meet new friends, learn new things.
Okay, I'm Brendan Gallagher. I am the operator and also lead programmer on the team.
as a programmer, let's take it in different spin. I've asked a lot of the questions because we have a lot of drive team members, right? But rarely do we have a co-operator that is a programmer. So give me a perspective from a programmer's perspective. What do you think you can help with other teams going forward that they can program their bot better? What would they need to know on that field that helped you win this? How can you help them?
Best thing that I could say is stay calm. So if your code isn't working and you're trying to make it work, stay calm and get help from other teams. Talk to people. It's very hard to learn things by yourself and from like the internet. But if you talk to other teams, you'll be able to ask questions, and it's just so much easier.
The more we share, the better off we all are, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. That's the whole sort of thing, is that everybody learns, everybody's growing. We want everyone to do as well as they can.
Thank you guys, and congratulations this week.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You too.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the RoboZone Podcast with your host, Pete Ekman. Find us online at RoboZoneTV.com and on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram.